The biggest mystery in Star Wars right now is the Knights of Ren. What are they? Where are they? Who are they? And all these questions might be answered in J.J. Abrams' Star Wars Episode 9, but that's not going to be out for another 15 months, so I'm just going to look at the clues and solve this mystery. I'm here at Disneyland, where the 14-acre expansion of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is currently under construction. As a park guest, we can be among the first to catch a glimpse of what they're building in there, which could hold the key to unlocking the mystery of the Knights of Ren. But I don't have a ticket, so let's go somewhere else.
Movie mysteries.
So the first question we gotta answer is, what are the Knights of Ren? And to research this, I went to my local library where they keep all the sacred Star Wars texts. It's all the information you could want about the movies, which is the information that counts, and the expanded universe, which is absolutely pointless stuff that they say is canon, but it's not. I found nothing terribly useful, but I did get a clue. It basically says that the formal organization of Force users that we knew before, like Jedi and Sith, that's kind of gone out the window, and now there's new groups of light side and dark side Force users that are just starting their own thing. So that's what the Knights of Ren are. They're kind of like the Jedi, but reverse. So where the Jedi served the Republic, the Knights of Ren are on call for the First Order. The second question we have to answer is, where are the Knights of Ren? And that's a little trickier because none of the movies have left a single clue about this. Or have they? If you remember in The Force Awakens, Rey touches Luke's lightsaber and she is blessed with a vision of the Knights of Ren for a second. So I thought, if I could touch this lightsaber myself, I could have a vision of where the Knights of Ren are right now in the saga. But where could I get to Luke Skywalker's lightsaber? As it turns out, that lightsaber was purchased by Ripley Entertainment for 450,000 space bucks. So I went to the Ripley's Believe It or Not auditorium to see this lightsaber for myself and give it a jolly old touch. Ripley's Believe It or Not auditorium is where Hollywood keeps its most priceless treasures and its most strange and unusual curiosities. Here is where they would keep Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. But when I got there, it was gone. Replaced with this Fugazi one. But I could tell the difference. The real one was moved to some secret location to keep ahead of those who would conspire to steal it, of course. And like, they had C-3PO's head, but I mean, that's not going to do anything. So we have to sort this question out from very little. Where are the Knights of Ren? The logical answer, if they're basically a Jedi council for the First Order, is that they are spread out all over the galaxy, seeking out young, impressionable Force users and recruiting them to the dark side of the Force, building their ranks to form an unstoppable army of dark side Force users. That's the logical answer. But it's not the right answer, because people almost never do the logical thing. People do what's in their nature. And if you're a dark side Force user, your nature is not team building. It's seeking power for yourself. That's why when it was the Sith, there was never more than 2 at a time, because they kept killing each other. So the Knights of Ren, at this moment in the Star Wars saga, are literally doing nothing. Until Kylo Ren sends for them, they're just off somewhere in some dark, creepy, cavernous place, just hanging out, eating pizza. So they're basically the Ninja Turtles. And finally, we have to answer the question of who are the Knights of Ren? And the answer to this can be found in one place. Any store that sells The Last Jedi on video. It's also on Netflix, but going to the store was more cinematic, so I did that. When you get there, check the price. Oh, what? It's $30 at Fry's? That's a little much. If this ever happens to you, go on your phone and start looking for deals, because all these stores will price match with each other. So, oh look, Target has it for only $20. So you just show that to the cashier, and then you can take your extra $10 and, buy something else. Because the clue to who the Knights of Ren are is in The Last Jedi. And no, it's not the guys in the red armor from the throne room lightsaber fight. That's Snoke's elite Praetorian Guard. How do I know this? If you listen to the commentary by Rian Johnson, he tells you. And they considered making it the Knights of Ren in that scene, but all those guys, spoiler alert, had to get slaughtered, so it would have been a total waste of the Knights of Ren. So they said, the Knights of Ren are very special, let's save it for another time. Anyway, the clue about who they are is in another scene, and they just flat out tell you. When Luke Skywalker starts to reveal to Rey his version of what happened the night that Ben Solo burned down his Jedi training temple, he says that half the students were killed and the other half chose to go with Ben. That means that Ben Solo was able to flip half of Luke's students from light side to dark. Luke Skywalker is a shitty teacher. And if you flip to the dark side, at that point in the Star Wars saga, there's only one place to go. The Knights of Ren. So, do we know who any of those students were? Is it possible that any of them are characters we've already met? I would say no. Any character from the first 6 Star Wars movies would be pretty old, and I don't think Luke Skywalker would train anyone like that. I think Luke's ex-students who are going to be the Knights of Ren is going to be all new characters we've never met before, and I think it's very likely that the Knights of Ren are going to be a very diverse group. Different ages, genders, races, species. But then I thought, you know how a lot of times in a group of fighters, there's like the brooding, angry, outcast, loose cannon character? Because the Knights of Ren is already such a hashtag problematic concept, I thought, well, what if they're all the brooding, angry, outcast, loose cannon character? So just for fun, let's cast that. I'm thinking Shia LaBeouf as the hothead, always losing his temper and cutting loose on people. Wes Bentley as the disturbed one. He's not necessarily so aggro, but he might make you into lampshades. Michael Mando as the ticking time bomb. He's either leaving you alone or he's fucking killing you, and there is no in between. Channing Tatum as the bad boy. He's sexy, he's mysterious, but he's not that complicated, and he's not worth it. He's just gonna mind trick you into bed and then mind wipe you in the morning. Glenn Powell as the Chandler, always making like sassy jokes and cut downs on everyone. He's like the class clown. Evan Peters as the Psycho. You don't know what he's gonna do. He has no patterns, no MO. It's just like having Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, on your team. And finally, Ben Foster as the even bigger psycho. Because you can't have a posse of spine-chilling lunatics without the cherry on top, and that's always gonna be Ben Foster. So there's your fantasy Knights of Ren. I know in Rey's vision there was 7, including Kylo Ren, so I should have only given you 6, but I gave you a bonus one for an extra scare. And to the Star Wars fans watching this, I just want to say that now, when you tuck yourself in tonight in your Star Wars blankets with your stuffed Ewoks and Porgs and Dexter Jetsters and drift off to sleep thinking of this haunted image, I hope you can rest easy knowing that the Knights of Ren mystery is hereby solved. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs down. Remember to give that subscribe button the old tippity tap. Please share this video with your friends if you know anyone who likes Star Wars. And if you have a movie mystery you want solved, drop it in the comments. And if I could just make one suggestion, it's always good when you commission a hot pop song for the theme of your movie and then work that melody into the score. You look at Titanic, Avatar, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and don't tell me John Williams is going to be insulted, because he's done it. In the Home Alone movies, you hear the melody in the score, and then end credits, Bette Midler, Somewhere in My Memory. And I'm also going to cite the most perfect movie ever made, The Mask of Zorro, because you hear that beautiful score through the whole movie, and then end credits, boom, I Want to Spend My Lifetime Loving You by Mark Anthony and Tina Arena. That's the hotness. California Adventure is under siege right now. No one's doing anything. God help us all. God help us all.